So, you want to be a puppet master, take control of the situation and introduce a little anarchy. Or maybe you've been the puppet and got played like a fiddle. Whichever side of the coin you are on, knowing these dark tactics are essential for maintaining power and control in any relationship, whether it be business, romantic, or platonic. This is the only video you will need where I will teach you 8 strategies to employ the power of understanding manipulation so that you can avoid when someone is trying to get in your head and rather use it to your advantage instead. In a good way, of course, like selling a car or delivering an exceptional corporate presentation. But before we get into these tricks, you need to first understand that these dark manipulative people are amongst us in our everyday lives. We can walk past by them. They could be CEOs, lawyers, salespeople, police officers, and you might not even know who they are. Or you might even have some of these traits yourself without even knowing. The first trick is the most common, yet subtly the most powerful, and that's the art of mirroring. When you mirror someone's body language, it builds up rapport and subtly signals that you are on the same wavelength. This allows them to open up to you, feeling more comfortable. Add a little positive and reinforcement, like encouraging their good behavior and showing gratitude at the right moments to ensure that you are on the same team. Number 2, excessive compliments. Probably the darkest tactic in the book, especially when you don't mean what you say, but it's effective in lowering someone's guard. This is also known as love bombing, and it can come across as playful, but it's fairly easy to spot if you are present and paying attention, as the compliments will shortly be followed up with a request. You want to use this tactic for a longer period of time until it becomes evident to ask for the request. Number 3, crafty questioning. If you want to find out information without raising any suspicion, you can first present an assumption about what you are trying to find out rather than asking. For instance, let's say I want to know how much your job pays you instead of asking you directly, which is a bit invasive. I can say something like, "Oh man, you're an accountant. You probably already have your house paid off." And when they respond with, "We don't make that much," you can go in for the kill by saying, "I thought accountants start at $100K a year." Crafty, but calculated. Use it wisely. Number 4, controlled disclosure. Share something confidential about yourself to gain their trust and create an aura of intimacy, but never give them the full details. You always want to leave some information, a mystery, to pique their interest. When they probe for more, be sure to let them know that you need to trust them in order to share the details. This will keep them on edge and keep you as an interesting person. Number 5, the conversational shift. Now, I've got some friends that love to talk about themselves or about a particular topic that they're passionate about, but bores me, like World War history. I hate World War history. So when I get bored, I pretend to receive a text or call or drop something on the ground as a decoy and immediately throw in a question right after to change the topic. If you are dealing with someone that loves to talk, be sure that question is something that has to do with them. Number 6, scarcity. In our times today, people love attention and they always want to be seen. If you emphasize limited availability, this demonstrates rarity and people will value your time. Now, in a sales pitch, using exclusivity like early bird concert tickets are a clever way to trigger quick decision-making, as they will feel like the discount time is almost up. Number 7, obedience to authority. Studies have shown that people respond to obedience to an expert in a particular field or an authoritative figure. Lo behold, the infamous Stanley Milgram experiment. In the early 1960s, Stanley Milgram, a social psychologist, conducted an experiment where he would instruct a volunteer participant labeled as the teacher to administer electric shocks to someone on the other side, known as the learner. The teacher would ask a series of questions, and with every incorrect answer, the learner would receive an electric shock that increasingly would become dangerous until fatal. When the learner would beg for mercy, the teacher would try to quit, only to be probed by phrases such as, "The experiment must go on," by the person conducting the experiment. What the teacher didn't know was that the learner was an actor, and the experiment concluded that most participants administered dangerous and fatal shocks, all due to obedience of authority. Crazy? Definitely. Unethical? Probably. But shows how dark the human mind can really be with just a little push. And lastly, number 8, the most important of them all, emotional control. All of the above mentioned goes down the drain if you're not able to remain stoic. If people know you are hot-headed and you show it, they can easily exploit this weakness and use it against you. So always keep your feelings in check. Master manipulators will twist words and put words in your mouth. The moment you start justifying your words in rage is the moment you'll lose, because you give it attention. Stay sharp and don't play mind games. And most importantly, remember that karma is real, and using these tactics with ill intentions will only backfire on you and your credibility. Trust me. Take it from a guy like me that was once cold and learned the hard way. Always check your intentions before you proceed. Never forget that. Right, so why don't you smash that subscribe button when you're ready to master your mind and start taking things more seriously. Here's my card.